back to another video. Today we're going to be going over different lower body exercises such as the back squat and the 3 different kind of squats that you can do with the barbell and the squat rack. And then going over different types of calf raises to do, and of course the lunges as well. So proper technique today, another demo. Stay tuned, and here we go. Alright, so for our first squat, there's 3 different ones. We have the quarter squat, the parallel squat, and of course the deep squat. There is a proper technique to each of these. However, though, if you see people doing a different kind of squat, whether it's a quarter or deep squat, not every single squat is going to be a deep squat when doing the back squat with the barbell. Sometimes depends on what you're working on. When we look at a quarter squat, we're mainly working on explosiveness and speed. You'll see a lot of athletes do the quarter squats, and a lot of strength coaches will actually instruct their athletes to do those. Parallel squats, it's more of like getting out of a certain position. So another more athletic movement with the parallel squat, and it's also for any novices that are still trying to work on getting to that deep squat. So they'll just work on the parallel squat. And the parallel squat mainly works more on the thighs, more than just the glutes. And then of course the deep squat, that's working on the entire lower half. Mainly it's glute activated, and it's for a great muscle pump of the glutes, the thighs, the hamstrings, and of course the calves as well. So I'm going to be going over first off the quarter squat, just showing proper technique and how to do that. Come up. See, as I'm doing that entire movement, it's just a really slow kind of bend that you see from the hips, and then I'm exploding back up and going up as fast as I can. That's the key thing to the entire quarter squat when doing these. Something to keep in mind is that you want lighter weight with these, nothing too strenuous or heavy, something that you can handle from going to a slower position into a fast position. It helps with that change in direction and that explosiveness in sports or athletics, or even if you're training for an Ironman, stuff of that nature. Those events it'll help out with. Now we have the parallel squat. I'm going to be getting into entire parallel position, so I'm going to take my hips all the way down 90 degrees and line it up parallel to the floor, and my lower body, my shins, will be perpendicular to the floor, and that's how we're going to get that parallel squat in. It's going to mainly activate the front of my thighs and also a little bit of my hamstrings as well. Helps you get out of like that seated position, and it's also for opening up your hips a little bit more if you're not there yet to get all the way down into a deep squat and you're comfortable with that yet. So here is the parallel squat. You'll see I grab the barbell, put it up on my shoulders. So first off, I'm going to push back my hips first, then make it go all the way down. It's about our parallel position, and then I'm going back up. Then I'm going down, and about a seated position, and then I'm going back up. So about 90 degrees, and then going back up. Getting a little bit of glute activation still, but working those thighs maybe. That's the parallel squat, getting down into that seated position, and then kind of exploding back up or slowly squatting back up. It depends on your training regimen, whether it's focused eccentric or explosiveness. It's all up to you and your program, but there's different methods to do this, but that is the parallel squat. Now for the final squat is the deep squat. This is the traditional back squat. When people say they want a back squat, they're mainly going to go into that deep squat. So I'm going to go deeper, then parallel, and then once I get down deep enough, I'm going to then squat all the way back up. Different methods again to do this. Mainly this focuses on muscle building, leg strength, a lot of glute activation, activation and hamstring activation in this. And of course your calves are activated as well. Now you'll see, first off, I'll push back my hips all the way down, get below, get even lower than that 90-degree angle from the parallel squat, and then shoot all the way back up out of that deep squat. So let's test it out right now. So I see I have my barbell on my back, and I'm pushing back with my hips all the way down into the deep squat and then standing back up. Going below 90 degrees, and then getting out of the hold, and then getting out of that squat. One more. So that is the deep squat right there. A lot of glute activation in that exercise. You'll also notice too, it takes some hip flexibility right there when you're using those hips to push back into that squat and deep squat all the way down, and then to get out of the hold at the bottom of the squat. So something to look into is something that you can do in your own homes, or you can do in your own gyms, wherever you are. Definitely progress first, starting off with the first squat, maybe the quarter squat and the parallel squat, and then all the way down into the deep squat. So it takes a little bit more flexibility with the deep squat. It's important to make sure to loosen up your hips, make sure you're stretched out, and then start to practice that, and then build that lower leg muscles in that strength all the way around. So that is the deep squat. Now we're going to move on to the beginner's squat first, which is the goblet squat. I'm going to demo that. If you're new to squats, definitely try out the goblet squat first. I'll show you here in a minute. So I'm going to use one of my dumbbells here. This is about 25 pounds. I'm going to hold my hands underneath, basically making my palms up, keeping them up, and make sure that it's away from my chest, away from my body. Next, I'm going to push my hips back all the way down into a deep squat, where as deep as I can go, and then get out of the hold and then stand back up. So if you're a novice to squatting and the back squat and having the barbell on your back is not ready for you yet, then you can just do this goblet squat, having the dumbbell on your palms and then pushing your hips back and then get out of the hold. So this is something that you can start off with at first, the first about 4 to 6 weeks, and then finally go into the back squat with the barbell on your back, and then progress all the way down. So that is the first. Anybody that's new, that's a novice, can start off with the goblet squat first, and then of course progress onto the barbell back squats. Now we have the lunges. I'm going to show off with the dumbbells first, and then I'll go into the barbells next. But I have two 25-pound dumbbells. I'm going to hold them at my side, and then make sure that my lower half is strong, and make sure that it's at a good distance in order to complete this complete this lunge. All right, so now I'm going to do the lunges next. I have two 25-pound dumbbells right here to my right that I'm going to start doing. I'm going to hold them at both my sides and then have one leg out in front of the other, and then that'll be my lunges that I'll do. These are alternating lunges that I'm doing with the dumbbells, and then I'll move into the barbells lunges next, which could be a little bit more challenging. So definitely start off with the dumbbells if you are new to this exercise. All right, now I'm going to start my lunges with my 25-pound dumbbells right here. I'm going to have you standing up in a parallel position, and feet about shoulder width apart. Dumbbells are right at my side, they're just hanging there, just dangling. And then I'm going to put one leg in front of the other, and then lunge forward, and then lunge back. Forward and then back. So these are forward lunges, alternating lunges. And of course the other one is you can do reverse lunges, which are just moving the leg back first. So you're putting your first leg in the starting position, and then moving it back, and then putting them back into the starting position again. and then alternating in a reverse lunge. And of course you can do the forward lunges as well. You want your legs at about 90-degree angle, and then you also don't want to overstride that front leg and make you lose balance or eventually do the splits or anything. So don't want to fall over, have good balance, great control, and that is what helped you with the alternate lunge and the alternate reverse lunge in this dumbbell exercise. So now we're going into more of the strength side of it with the barbell lunges. And so you'll see the same thing, but this time we just have a barbell on the back. This one contains more balance. I don't recommend that any novice does the barbell lunges first. First off, progress with the dumbbells and then go into the barbell lunges. So we have the forward lunge first, and then the other one will be the reverse lunge. So I'm gonna put this barbell on my back. Again, on my upper back, just like a squat. Make sure I stand back at a greater distance than my back squat because I'll need more room. And then I'm just gonna lunge forward first and then go back. Still want good depth and everything. Make sure I'm not falling over and have a great balance. And that my first front leg is not overstriding at all. That's the forward lunge. Then of course, if you want to do the reverse lunge, you will stand closer to the rack and then move your leg back, just like this. Still having good depth on that reverse lunge. Make sure you keep your balance and that you know what you're doing and that you apply yourself before doing any of the barbell lunges, either forward or reverse. It takes practice, but this is something you can do in your own gyms and at your own homes. Finally, we have the calf raises. I'm going to show how to do a proper calf raise and what I normally see people do that are kind of incorrect and that just don't really activate the calves and they activate other parts of their bodies. So this is how you do a proper calf raise. Of course, just like the other exercises, put the barbell on the upper back, and as you stand about feet shoulder width apart, then you're moving up slowly from your heel to your toes, and then moving back down slowly, and then up fast again. So you're working that lower half calf muscle, just so you can activate just the muscle and not like the Achilles when you're going too fast. And just moving up and down like this. You don't want that at all. You mainly just want that slow movement up and then that slow movement down. Now, other ways to how to grow that entire calf muscle is not by just keeping your toes pointed forward. Instead, I'm gonna invert my toes for one exercise. So one of the sets, I'll invert my toes, bring my toes in towards my body, in towards my chest, and then I'm going to stand up on my toes and then back down slow. Stand up fast and back down slow. So just I'm activating that outside of my calf muscle. And my next one is I'm going to evert my toes, so I'm going to point my toes outside of my body and point them away, make them lateral, away from my chest right here in this portion of my body. So I'm going to take my toes, shoulder apart, toes go outside this time. I'm going to stand up on my toes and go back down slowly. This works more of your inside calf muscle and gives you that full muscle growth, and it's working the entire muscle in the calf muscle, just so that you are working it entirely. And make sure you have that entire strength and that growth in that calf muscle is what we're working on with those calf raises. So that is the barbell calf raise, and that's something that you can do on your own. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. You got a lot of demonstrations and proper techniques for the lunges, the back squat, the different kinds of squats that you can do with the barbell, and of course, the calf raise as well. You got all of that in today. So please utilize this video, rewatch it again in your own homes, and I hope that it helps you. And as always, please reach out to me if you have any questions. My email and all my contact information is in the description below of this YouTube video. And please follow me on Instagram and TikTok as well at Next Rep Performance. You'll see the logo icon pop up as you type it in. So please give me a follow. Like, comment, subscribe on this video. And please, please, please refer me to your friends and reach out to me for personal training, because let me help you, and together let's make you healthy for the better of yourself. Thank you so much, and let's always go beyond.